Now, on a slightly different topic, explain something to me. In 2005, when you became governor, by executive order, you did away with collective bargaining for state employees. That's the subject of the feud in the state of Wisconsin. And I'm curious why you were able to do it by executive order, number one, and number two, what impact it has had on the state of Indiana, whether that's been good or bad economically.
I was able to do it because it had been put in place by a Democratic predecessor many years before by executive order. The Indiana legislature had never authorized a collective bargaining or the forced collection of dues from state employees. And so that's why I was able to strike it down. It's precisely what Scott Walker's trying to do in Madison right now. And the answer to the second question has been a profoundly positive event. We've not only saved hundreds of millions of dollars, but of equal importance, we're providing services vastly better, I can prove it to you, because we were freed of a collective bargaining arrangement that basically said you couldn't move a Xerox machine from one room to the other without the union's permission. And so we immediately began merging agencies, in some cases dividing them, consolidating things like IT and HR and procurement, and in some cases outsourcing to the private sector, saving buckets of money and improving the service delivery to Hoosiers. It's been an unqualified success, and I hope he has a chance to do the same.
All right. In Ohio yesterday, you were quoted as saying, in reference to the public employee unions, that they are the privileged elite. Do you want a do-over on that, or do you stand by that?
No, I stand by that. You know, the average public employee is paid a lot more than the taxpayer who pays his salary. In the case of federal employees, it's 50% more, and that's just the beginning. The benefits are vastly higher in many or most cases than they are in the private sector, and the job security is in most cases nearly total. So you know, I'm not against this. In many cases, I'd like to see certain public employees, like our best teachers, paid more. But you know, the idea that these folks are somehow the underdogs in this situation is exactly the reverse of reality. As you know, the biggest special interest in America, the biggest PACs and donors to our politics are the government unions, who are funding politicians who then quite cooperatively turn around and vote for more money, more benefits, more job security, and higher pensions.
Governor, we're going to be watching your state, wondering if you get your politicians back home. We're watching Wisconsin as well, and I do hope you'll come back, and certainly come back very soon. Thank you, sir.
But this idea that you can lose an election and turn around and decide to blackmail the whole rest of the state on behalf of your interest groups, and we're supposed to think this is reasonable behavior? I think the governor should educate the state. He should talk to the state. But remember, the real reason the unions are terrified is that the governor wants the unions to have to voluntarily collect the money. He wants to quit collecting the money through the state. And the unions know that if their members figure out how many dollars a year they're actually paying, they won't pay.
But I mean, the governor told me that he thought it was workers' rights and that he was doing it for the workers. But frankly, the workers that we walked through, we were in the Capitol yesterday, the workers don't want his help on the workers' rights. So, I mean, I'm not so sure that he's been square on that one.
Okay. I mean, you walk through the Capitol where the people the unions have most fired up and have most enthusiastic. There's a simple question. The unions are so confident they represent the workers. Why are they afraid to allow the workers to voluntarily pay their dues? Why are they insisting that the government has to deduct their dues? The reason is they know a substantial percent of their members will rapidly quit paying their dues. And in fact, the dues in some cases are bigger than the cost of the pension and health care changes. But there's a second point, which you just had a great guest on, and that's Governor Mitch Daniels. As he pointed out, the worst thing about the way the government employee unions operate is that they create work rules and inefficiencies and protection of mediocrity and blocking effective management. And that's the other thing that as a former local official, Governor Walker is trying to make sure that all of the local towns, all the local school boards, all the local counties also have an ability to manage their deficits.
All right, I need to take a quick break, Mr. Speaker, but do not leave.